ladies and gentlemen, I am Corey from Super Kami Guru 9000, and welcome to Star Wars for 100 Days, the ultimate fan countdown leading up to the release of Star Wars The Force Awakens. Get hyped, my friends, because every single day we're getting closer and closer to the release of the 7th chapter in the greatest sci-fi saga of all time. And today we're going to celebrate by continuing to discuss and talk about the different bounty hunters of the Star Wars universe. I've already talked in length about some of the main ones who appeared in Empire Strikes Back, and a few that have appeared in the spin-offs. And before I get to the 3 bounty hunters who I consider are the best in the galaxy, I just want to talk about some of the bounty hunters who a lot of people don't even realize are bounty hunters in the first place. A lot of these characters only appear in the background of the Star Wars movies, but have some pretty awesome expanded stories. The first one I want to talk about today is probably the most well-known of these bounty hunters, and her name is Aurra Sing. Aurra Sing is a character who has actually had an appearance in just about every single medium of Star Wars. She has a very small cameo in Star Wars Episode 1, The Phantom Menace, during the pod race scene. There's the scene where the pod racers are going around this canyon, and watching over a cliffside is Aurra Sing herself. She's very pale looking, her hair is all tied up, and she just looks really creepy and ominous. The first time that I saw her character, my first thought was, wow, she has a really cool design, but why are they putting so much emphasis on her? Why are they putting so much focus? And the real reason is they're not really doing anything, they're just trying to show off all of the cool characters that they can create for the Star Wars universe, but therein lies the genius of Star Wars. You can take a character who appears in the background for just like a split second and create an entire expanded backstory for them, and that's exactly what they did for Aurra Sing. She stars in movies, comic books, video games, and even TV shows like Star Wars The Clone Wars, where she really made a name for herself. And she's a pretty famous bounty hunter in her own right, not only working through the Clone Wars, but actually becoming one of the key agents of Darth Vader himself. She's worked with Cad Bane, she's been the mentor of Boba Fett, so safe to say, she's probably the most famous female bounty hunter in the entire series. Although I'm sure there's other Star Wars fans who will contest that, but she's a character who started out with a small cameo and evolved into a very popular character with the fan base. A few of the other bounty hunters that I want to touch on are more of these extremely obscure characters, 2 of which who actually appear in the original film, Star Wars Episode 4, A New Hope. The first one is Zutton. Yep, that's his actual name, but most Star Wars fans will know this character by the name of Snaggletooth. He is one of these weird-looking, almost like mammal-reptilian hybrid-looking aliens who only appears for like a split second in the movies. Yet, he ends up being one of the most enduring characters of all time, and a lot of that probably has to do with the fact that back in the day, there was an action figure which was created for the character, and that's where he was officially known as Snaggletooth. It wasn't until years later where he got his official name. It's also very easy to confuse this character with a few others who actually appear like in Return of the Jedi, and that's because they do reuse some of the alien costumes. But he's one of those really weird, obscure aliens who, again, appears for a few seconds, ends up being a pretty popular bounty hunter in the expanded universe of Star Wars. He's even worked with Jabba the Hutt. And last but not least, I would like to talk about Jasper, this one alien who is completely black, has a giant head because his brain is so big, and pointy ears. He almost looks like a Star Trek alien, but here he is, stuck in the world of Star Wars. This is another character who, again, just appears in the cantina scene, but has a surprisingly expanded backstory. Aside from being just a really cool-looking character and being a really awesome bounty hunter with dual pistols, he also happens to be the personal assassin of famous pod racer Sebulba. And here's a nice little other fun fact for you. Another pod racer who goes by the name of Aldar Beto also is an assassin and bounty hunter. Here's a nice little fun fact about Jasper's name. Apparently he was named after the cat of one of the designers of the Star Wars collectible card game. His cat name was Jasper, so they named this alien Jasper. And that's the thing. I just cannot talk about all of the bounty hunters in the Star Wars universe. There are just way too many of them. I could have done this entire 100 video series strictly about their characters and their backstories, and that's because they're so incredibly interesting. but that's the joy of Star Wars. There's always something to discover. I'm a huge fan of the series, and I'm learning stuff every single week just by reading books or looking at the comics, going to Wikipedia. There's so much amazing information out there. And honestly, I can't really think of too many other series that can make use of all of their characters like Star Wars does. Chalk it up for the fact that it's a very long-running franchise, but still, I frickin' like it. So there it is, my friends. I just wanted to highlight some of the lesser-known bounty hunters before I get to the big three. Who are the big three? Well, I've already mentioned them a couple of times, but just to keep a little bit of suspense in the air, I just want you guys to continue watching. Just keep in mind, one of them is definitely going to be Boba Fett. That being said, do you guys have a favorite bounty hunter from the Star Wars universe? Maybe a favorite assassin or mercenary character? Please tell me in the comment section below, and please tell me why you like these characters, and make sure to tell me what you want to see from Star Wars The Force Awakens. Thank you guys for watching this video. Make sure to like it, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, may the Force be with you.